Today what I'm going to show you is an amazing place called Bskewers in Dublin city centre. You're going to absolutely love this one. So soft, so flavorful, and I'm getting excited here. This is Bruno right here, and this is Thais.
How you doing, guys?
Hello, guys.
And I'm super excited about this today, eating lots of food. So, what are you going to show us today, Bruno?
So today I'm going to show your favorite pork belly,
Yeah.
burger, chicken hearts, and I'm going to serve a lot of stuff. So
Amazing.
we're going to make sure we're hungry.
Okay, so we're going to show you later on all the food. Wait till you see it. You're going to absolutely love it. That's the pork that you're going to be cooking now?
There's a pork belly. I got this pork belly from a very, very good supplier. Very good quality pork belly.
Amazing.
You know, meaty, fatty. You know, everything you look for when you get a
Yeah.
good pork belly. So basically, to finalize before serving the food at the table, got a little bit of caramel. You know, a little bit extra caramel. You know. So caramel. This is our burger here.
Yeah.
We got that for a very, very good supplier. Affects properly.
Okay, so here we are. This is Pedro right here, who's joining me for some food. Myself and Pedro go back a long way. 7 years?
7 years, yeah.
We know each other
2014, I guess.
2014. So we got a lot of history, myself and himself, at a few festivals. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, John.
And
Thanks, man.
we're here. Bruno's in the kitchen. He's getting all the food ready. So he's going to be bringing out the food. I think we're in for a big treat today, basically.
I'm hungry for culture.
Okay, we're going to see Bruno bring out all the food now as well.
Now guys, here we go. So this is the meat snacks. Sorry, fried yolk snacks actually. It's known as cassava as well, and manioc. Here picanha, we just smoke salt here, and then we use this smoked salt
Yeah.
to marinate it. That's no marination.
So they use Irish grass-fed beef, but they use the cut from the top of the rump,
This is black Angus.
which is Black Angus. This one is amazing.
This is African pepper sauce.
African pepper sauce. What's the recipe for this
That's
one?
your favorite. It's African. I can't tell you.
He won't tell me the recipe for this. This is one of my favorite recipes because when I was driving by one day along this road, I could smell the smell of the barbecue, and I knew there was something going on. So one day I pulled up and I walked back down the street, and there he was, and he came straight out. And he was like, "Hey, John, smoking soul and all of this in the videos," and that's how we kind of popped in here and we kind of found out about it. Next day I came back and I ate all this food. That African sauce, I love it. So I need to get this recipe. I'll come work for you for a day, like Sakai. You give me the recipe.
No. This is our version of vinaigrette, our take on vinaigrette. It's a bit different than the Brazilian one.
Okay.
You try to let me know what you think it's different.
Yeah.
Farofa, vegan farofa as well.
Yeah. What is farofa now?
Farofa is basically the cassava, the root cassava.
Yeah.
So it's dried, like
Yeah.
breadcrumbs. They make some sort of breadcrumbs out of it. We make our own. We just got the cassava flour,
Yeah.
and then we make our own farofa. Farofa is
Amazing.
kind of marinated
Yeah.
cassava flour.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
This is the pork belly, our favorite. We make some sort of caramel, leave it marinating for 24 hours, then we caramelize that on the barbecue, on the pahila.
Yeah.
Alright?
So hungry.
For culture.
For culture, exactly.
This is our version of cheeseburger. So just
Yeah.
simple cheeseburger, green mayo, bone, brioche bone, and cheddar, good quality cheddar. I think you should take one each.
I think we need to start digging into this.
Go for it, yeah. Check if it's juicy. Just press it, just to see if it...
Whoa.
He's making us press. Look at the juice inside. Look.
Amazing.
So the beef you use,
100% Irish.
100% Irish beef.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm.
Is it good?
Wow. So soft, so flavorful, and I'm getting excited here.
Can you share your blend? What kind of cuts you use for the beef?
Good cuts from the ribs. That's what it's a blend they make for us. Simple blend from the ribs.
Wow.
Different cuts from the ribs.
Amazing. So good.
We need some fatty stuff,
Yeah.
fatty blend because oops. It smells very good. It's a Brazilian beer actually.
It's an Irish beer made by Brazilians.
That's good.
It's an
I bring
Irish
it over
beer.
to sell it at the restaurant here.
Irish beer made by Brazilians.
Nossa, que delícia. IPA?
Yeah.
Ah, that's good, bro.
Your burger, it's amazing. It's so good.
Burger bun.
Yeah, it's so good.
The burger I was against adding a burger in our restaurant
Mm-hmm.
because in Brazil, not right now, but in Brazil, burgers are not very popular in barbecues. It is not. It is now. Over the last 2-3 years,
Yeah.
it wasn't popular in barbecues. I mean, you used to have picanhas and big cuts or whatever. But I mean,
Chicken hearts.
chicken
Classic.
hearts or whatever. We have chicken hearts on the way as well. Don't worry.
We have chicken hearts.
Põe
So,
lá o bandejinho que você quiser.
is the gringo able to do
Monte-
chicken hearts? Is the question.
Oh yes.
Can I eat chicken hearts?
Medalha
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Põe
You're gonna
hearts
love
e o medalha.
So the pork belly right here. So I'm just gonna rip some off here. It's on the skewer. This is all Pedro's right here.
Thank you.
And you should try that with the African
Okay.
pepper
Perfect.
sauce.
I was going to ask that.
Check that out.
You see this African pepper sauce, we dime it up a little bit on the we dime it up a little bit on the spice. So
Okay.
it's spicy.
Really spicy.
Very
Okay.
hot. So,
Okay, so I will
go slow.
I will
Go
easy.
slow.
Wow. That's
I like
unreal. I like it. I love it. Wow.
So make that here as well.
First day I tried that pork belly, unbelievable. Today, every time I taste it, it gets better and better. Pork belly is one of those dishes that, if you don't do it right, it's a disaster. You know, it's the slow cooking of it. It's nice, and then he finishes it off over the grill.
The funny thing is, we don't serve pork belly like that in Brazil.
No.
We don't serve like a sweet. We just usually use lime, salt,
Yeah.
garlic, and that's it.
We don't do like, it's not a classic Brazilian thing for the barbecue like
No,
pork belly.
no pork
Yeah.
belly. No. It is getting famous now. I mean, there's one thing we make in Brazil with pork belly, with the skin out, which is the pururuca.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You
What
know
is
the crackling pork belly.
Yeah.
We make a snack out of that. We
Yeah.
call it pururuca. How do you call it? Torresmo. Torresmo. We cut that like a small piece of bacon, but we make like a torresmo. That's what we call it.
It's like
Now this is the fried yolk snacks. Very hot though.
Fried yolk snacks
¿Te gustó ese cerveja?
with the sausage inside.
Aquí,
Oh,
respira. Respira, fine.
They're good.
Ciao.
Here we go. Look,
Chicken medallions.
chicken medallions
And
right
chicken
here,
hearts.
and chicken hearts.
Yeah.
And the best way to eat the chicken hearts?
Just eat, brother.
give it to me.
Lagay ang chicken hearts.
Cheers.
Now the last way is to add some farofa.
Oh,
Come over.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Some farofa. That's it.
First time I had the chicken hearts was actually with Pedro here,
That's true.
long time ago.
In the festival.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Pedro doesn't like farofa. Look at that.
No problem. It's very
So it's a traditional thing in Brazil to eat chicken hearts
Yeah.
with parties and
Very
Yeah.
traditional.
Yeah?
Yeah, very popular, basically.
Wow. They're so tasty.
Yeah. We don't marinate that like that in Brazil. We usually use garlic and maybe parsley and spring onions or only salt.
Back home, my
Mhm.
father used to do barbecues every weekend, and he was very famous about his chicken hearts and mustard sauce.
Yeah.
Mustard
That is a
sauce.
classic combination. You know, it goes really well with the hearts.
It's nice. Well, good idea.
Yeah.
That's a nostalgic moment.
So Pedro, about the pork belly there.
Chicken medallion wrapped in bacon. What's not to love? Huh? What's not to love?
Try that.
Mm.
Sweet.
Get in there with some of that.
I will. Just enjoy my chicken hearts.
Pedro gave us 2 feedbacks when he first came.
Yeah.
The first one was that the bacon wasn't crispy enough.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of soggy. It was right. And the pork belly wasn't caramelized enough.
Mm-hmm.
How is it not better?
It's much better. Everything is just much better. You guys are dating. Really happy.
First day I tried that pork belly, unbelievable. Today, every time I taste it, it gets better and better. So here we are. Now we're on to the dessert. So explain to us what this creation is.
This is just a brioche with Argentina style dulce de leche. We smoked that on the grill and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of toasted and warm. It's very nice, you know, finish your meal.
Yeah.
Go for it, guys.
You one for you.
That's,
Look at this.
That's
There you
very
go,
sexy.
That is pretty naughty, I have to say. In a brioche bun, buttery. Oh.
Sexy.
Oh my god. Mm. I
The
could
dulce de
just,
leche warm. Is it nice and
yeah, warm. Yeah, it's perfect. I could go lie down in the back just for a few minutes. This is unbelievable.
We just need the espresso after that.
Mmm. Mm-hmm. That.
So good.
It's perfect. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your inspiration for Bskewers. Let's start from the beginning. Where you come from in Brazil?
So I came from São Paulo.
Yeah.
I was born in São Paulo city. Moved to the countryside with my family when I was 6. Grew up in the countryside. You know, my dream was to become a soccer player, actually.
Yeah.
And most of the Brazilian boys wanted to be a soccer player. I never thought about cooking or going for restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
I did an social communication stuff on college, a degree. Once I finished, I came over to Ireland in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
I was here for a couple of years, and so before coming to Ireland, I have an uncle. We're very close.
Yeah.
He always wanted to open some sort of coffee shop franchise, or rei do pão de queijo style franchise. I never worked in a restaurant, didn't know how it was, Once I came to Ireland, I started working in a restaurant straight away as a kitchen porter.
Okay.
So I was working at the restaurant for 2 years as a kitchen porter. I did some, bartender stuff or whatever. But I learned and I fell in love for restaurants, for the restaurant business. I was like, man, it's nice, I love that. Went back to Brazil after 2 years and started working in a bank.
Yeah.
It was good, nice paycheck, but I was like, what am I doing here? I don't like that. I really like restaurants. I want to go back, I want to learn more about it. Started studying, went for 6 months. Supposed to be like 4 semesters, but I went for 1 semester of high gastronomy. I was studying gastronomy and stuff in Brazil, only for 6 months. Then I was listening. I really want to go back to Ireland and learn, go back to Europe and learn, about the restaurant business. Came back here in 2015, and I went back to the same restaurant that was a kitchen porter, but this time as a waiter.
Okay.
I wanted to learn the front of house thing. Because I was like, listen, I'm very good. I love cooking, but I'm very good with people. Let's I'm a good salesman. Let's go to the front of house. And I started growing very fast. I became like a floor manager, supervisor, floor manager, Then the restaurant manager left and I took over the position. They gave me the chance and it's like growing. Went for 5-star hotels to learn, to see how it was. I loved that. Started growing. Went back to the same place I started as a kitchen porter. They were open at the third place. They invited me to be the kind of food front of house director or something like that. And then after a while I took over the position as a general manager of the group. I was working as a kitchen porter. So, I mean, they gave me the chance. I took that and I learned a lot.
So what was the time then you decided to open up Bskewers?
So since when I came back, I was always like, listen, I want to have a barbecue. But there was no barbecue place around. There was like American style barbecue. It's kind of different than what we used to have in Brazil. It's more smoky, American style. But I was like, this one day I'm going to open a barbecue joint. I just say that. I was always talking to people saying, listen, one day I'm going to open a barbecue joint. I never thought about how I was going to open it. Then after working for all them places and working as a foreman in GM and 5-star hotels, whatever, I was like, man, I don't want to work for people anymore. I want to try to follow my passion. 3 years ago, I went to Portugal. 3.5 years ago, I went to Portugal on a trip, and I was writing down on a notebook the plan of some sort of skewers stuff. Yeah, actually, I have the drawings. I still have them. And then I went to Portugal. We spent a week in Lisbon. Thinking about things, researching, trying meats and wines and stuff. And then when I was coming back, when I came back to Ireland after a week, I had the plan all wrote down. I mean, it was clear to me. It was just a matter of time. I was like, listen, I need to have the balls to take the risk.
So when did you open?
2 years ago.
2 years.
We started, myself and Thais.
Yeah.
Thais is gonna come over here, please. Bem, parece aqui. So Thais, she's shy. We started as a food vendor, like a food stall, food markets around Dublin, Great Dublin, just to test to see how was the acceptance of people. And it was good, but it was very cold, very hard. It's very hard to have a tent, and Pedro probably knows.
As a Brazilian, you found the weather here cold?
It was cold and wet. Nothing about being cold. Cold is nice. The problem is being wet. It's very wet,
Yeah.
So after a while, we're doing, we were in 5-6 different markets, and the pandemic came last year. So the pandemic came, and we had all the food markets were canceled. Everything was canceled. Everything was closed, basically. So we had to reinvent ourselves. We found a kitchen. We rented that kitchen. We started doing takeaways and deliveries to test the product. And people were loving that. It was like, listen, people like it. Let's go. Let's keep going. Then last year, found a partner. Had the location. They left here in December 2020. Started doing some work here, and we opened 6 months ago, in February 2021. We started our little project here.
So you opened up in the middle of the pandemic.
The middle of the pandemic was very hard.
And you had the seats in here as well. So you opened up in the middle of the pandemic.
We're doing 100% of deliveries and takeaways. 100% of the business of deliveries and takeaways was something that I didn't know. I've never done takeaways and deliveries before because I used to run restaurants. It's different.
Yeah.
It's another ball game. But it was good for us to learn. It was a very nice learning process for us. Then after 4 months, actually, we started having people outdoors, and now have people indoors as well. So, listen, we're good
great.
now. It's great.
Yeah. And what do you see for the future for yourself now in Bskewers?
This is a little prototype for maybe a franchise or something. Maybe open another 2 or 3 in Ireland. Maybe Europe.
Amazing.
You never know.
Well done.
That's what we're thinking about.
Thank you.
Amazing. Fair play to you.
So you guys never knew each other before?
Actually, we knew, but I think we were never presented.
Yeah.
Because he knew me and I knew him,
Yeah.
Because never tried his foods. I know his partner.
Yeah.
So when they set up the business here, I came like in the first month.
First month, yeah. Third week, maybe.
That's where we met each other, through his partner, where we met properly. I was really happy to see, you know, someone starting a business or restarting a business in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because that's a big challenge.
I'm Brazilian as well.
Exactly.
I'm Brazilian.
And
Because it's adding so much flavor to the city.
And it's so good to see the Brazilians, you know, growing up and then
Taking over.
taking place, and then cooking great food.
When I first met Pedro, 2016,
14.
2014. It would have been the first Brazilian that I met in Ireland.
Okay.
You were my first in Ireland.
That's true.
He was my first, and it was.
Did you like that?
Yeah, it was amazing.
But I'm just curious, you know, because how come a gringo like you, it's become so passionate about Brazilian culture, you know?
You're asking myself now why I am doing these videos and stuff on the Brazilian community. Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of taken away by it at the moment. Number one, I married a Brazilian from Salvador. But number two, I'm kind of fascinated about the food because I went on a holiday to Sao Paulo, and you sent me to a lot of locations years back in Sao Paulo, and I kind of fell in love with the food, and I fell in love with the culture. Brazil, of course, is a big place. It has lots of different fusions of different cultures, and I slowly see that kind of coming into Ireland. But I think at the moment people don't fully appreciate all these amazing places opening up, and that's why I kind of want to learn more about the interest of Brazilian restaurants. The first time I had Brazilian food in Ireland was yourself, and you gave me chicken heart and feijoada, and it was amazing. And I said to you to do it at a festival, and he did it at the festival, and it was probably one of the busiest stalls at the festival because people were so curious. And I think one of the key reasons for myself being more fascinated about it is, number one, I love the Brazilian food, but it's so diverse. From your food, which could be traditional, but you do fire cooking, you do lots of different elements from yourself, you have a twist of fire European, but also Brazilian, a little bit hint of Italian in there, and of course you have the African sauce that you need to give me the recipe for. And then of course when we met Carlos from Sakai, that was Brazilian sushi with a hint of Japanese. And then I'm going there in December and January, and I guess
That's great.
to answer the question is, I kind of want to know more before I get there, and also to learn a few words, but also to see in Ireland how Brazilian community is taking over Dublin and Ireland, but in the most positive way. From like all of a sudden the last 2-3 years, like we were talking about it before, amazing little cafes and restaurants are opening up like yourself, like the food that you're doing. I think for me, you're one of the first guys that kind of
Raise the bar.
You raised the bar. We spoke about this before when you weren't here. You were one of the first guys who really, we made, as an Irish guy, as a gringo, I automatically looked at you, Brazilian food in Ireland.
Yeah.
And that's cool. You're the beginning of it. And now there's restaurants, there's shops, there's businesses, there's cafes, there's coffee shops.
Yeah. Well, I think
It's awesome food.
what he's trying to do, maybe, most likely, probably, he's trying to raise the bar. He's trying to show people that Brazilians don't have just rice and beans.
No.
It's not just about rice and beans and feijoada. We have more stuff.
Yeah.
More good stuff.
I'm very proud of the stuff we're doing. Like we as a team, we one family. So just happy to contribute with this Brazilian touch, Brazilian culture, So I love to see this thing growing, and let's take over. Let's keep growing, and then spreading love, spreading the Brazilian culture.
Spread more Brazilians.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Take over in a good sense,
In a good way,
Take over in the most positive way,
Exactly.
because all of a sudden you've upped the restaurant. Like before, there was always, of course, Irish restaurants. There was a different fusion, but all of a sudden you come in, the place is clean. This place is spotless. It's tidy. The food is tasty. You're using the best ingredients. You're sourcing. You know the suppliers. You're up in the bar, like the both of you guys are, and I respect that. a lot, and being Irish, I love to see that in Ireland, because as one of our other videos, if you haven't seen, go to the sushi one, but we met one guy and he says, the way he put it when he was leaving the door was, we need more places like this because it just adds flavour to life.
Yeah. So
Okay,
agree.
and that's the way it is.
Good stuff.
So look, on that note, I think we're coming to an end where we're kind of full. We're happy in beer, we're happy in food. Bruno, I want to thank you and Thais. She's in the back hiding. But thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
It was
Thank you,
amazing.
guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you both for
love it.
being here.
Can't wait for more, you know?
Yeah.
Where's the next?
Where are we going?
I'm hungry for culture, you know?
Okay, see you later.
Thank you. Cheers.